And but drop us a comment there and let us know what your thought is. You know, what do you think? What season of life are you in? Right?
Yeah.
We would love to know. We really would. Give us a comment of where you're at, what season you're in, what your goal is. And maybe we can help. Maybe we make another show.
Yeah.
Depending on how many people comment on the video or something.
Exactly.
Elaborating on different areas.
Yep. What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Austin Lewis here, coming to you guys with my partner in crime, the Austin Zaback here. Welcome back to the A&A Show for another phenomenal episode. In this episode, we're going to be talking about the successful habits.
It's going to be a good one, baby.
Of some individuals. If you guys are watching on YouTube, then make sure and smash the subscribe button. If you guys are brand new, make sure and do us a favor, share it with 5 of your friends. As well as like the video, comment what you guys would like to see, who guests, right?
Yeah,
guests, who they'd like to see in
right.
future shows, because we're bringing the best of the best of the best on the A&A
show, baby.
What other platforms are we on?
Man, we're on everything you can imagine, brother. We're on iHeartRadio, Spotify, iTunes, Stitcher, Podcasts, YouTube. You pretty much name it, we're there.
Yes.
So if you're new to the channel, we really hope you enjoy today.
Yep.
We don't have a guest, but it is going to be a very good episode, so definitely don't click off. We're going to be talking about, Austin, is we're going to be talking about the top habits of the successful people, right?
Yep.
And, people, I mean, you've read books about it. You've seen, we've been studying this for a decade now, probably.
Yep.
Give or take. And, man, I mean, there's so much out there, as it pertains to success and entrepreneurship and habits. And I mean, you see YouTube videos on it, you see all this crap on, and it's not crap, but you know what I mean? Like,
for sure.
It's just regurgitated,
Flooded.
it's whatever, right? And, man, I think perspective is everything, right?
Yeah.
And who you resonate with. And I think, there's a lot of different ways to look at it. I don't think there's any particular set of, hey, you got to do this, and this every day. Otherwise you can't be successful, right? I think
for sure.
Different strokes for different folks, and I think ultimately there's different things that different people do that work for them.
100%.
And to that point, right, I think it is definitely worth exploring different perspectives on the matter.
Yep.
And that is what we're going to do here today, is we're going to bring you a different perspective, one that maybe you haven't heard of or, really thought much about before, of our personal opinion, okay, of what we've kind of done over the last 5 years, whatever, to become successful, quote unquote, or at least to get to where we're at now, right?
Yep.
And obviously we don't consider ourselves massively uber successful by any means, but
we do got a couple things going right.
We're trying, man. We're trying our best. We failed a little, we've succeeded a little, and we've succeeded just a tiny bit more than we failed, right?
Yeah, exactly.
And that's all it boils down to. So
we're technically in the win section.
So yeah, bro. What are you thinking here? You want to start off with a couple of yours? You want me to start off with a couple of mine?
Yeah, and I mean we can. I like this. Just to make sure I get some fire photos for my Instagram, because I definitely need some Instagram photos here on the A&A Show. So if you guys pop over to YouTube, you guys will see us take some sick flicks. One thing I do notice actually about successful people, Austin, and you and I have chatted about this just a little bit too, is, it's relatively, everybody, different strokes for different folks, but it's all relatively the same.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I go to the gym and somebody else hikes a mountain.
For sure.
It's still the same thing.
Same thing.
And I do it at a different time than somebody else does, but it's still the same thing.
Right.
And I think success, right, going back to Jim Rohn and all these other older philosophies that we've seen, reading different books or listening to different podcasts, from generations that are above us, the millennial generation, because we're 25, is, there's no big catastrophic secret to daily habits.
There is not.
I think a lot of people do a little bit of things right, and they do it right every day.
Yep.
Because how you do anything is how you do everything, and that's like you're saying,
yeah,
right?
And per their definition of right.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, it isn't even because what's right and wrong?
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, whatever you say it is.
Yeah, exactly.
Am I right?
Yeah, 100%.
Like, you feel me?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Like
Every
that
day
in
of the
itself, right? It's just so I think, and bro, and I think that's the problem with a lot of the educational stuff out there.
For sure.
Is they're preaching their methodology or their opinion of whatever they believe as the only way.
Yep.
It's like, hey, if you don't wake up at 6 a.m., beat the sun up and do this, and this, then, you're doing it wrong.
Yep.
And then all of a sudden, you're like, maybe you're a night person. You're like a night owl. And you're like, well, I don't wake up at 6 o'clock in the morning, right?
Yep.
So you just beat the crap out of yourself for the next decade, thinking that you're just a piece of crap for not waking up at 6 o'clock in the morning.
And
you know what I mean?
I think the daily habits of successful people are so contradicting. And the reason I think it's so contradicting is because then you find yourself comparing yourself to other individuals.
Big time.
And so if Elon Musk's wake up at 5, and you don't wake up at 5, you're a fucking failure.
For sure.
But at the end of the day, maybe you're not even building a company like Elon Musk.
Right.
So you don't need to wake up at 5.
Right.
And I think that just goes back to self-awareness. You know what I mean? Like there's been seasons of our lives that our main role was just cash flow.
Yep.
It's just cash flow. Build nothing, have little office, just build cash flow. And at that season of time, we could stay awake until 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning. You know what I mean? Grinding, having ideas, smoking some Cubans, enjoying a glass of scotch, having fun, traveling the world, doing things like that. And then there was other seasons where we're like, hey, yo, we got to wake up a little bit earlier, get to the office a little bit earlier because we're actually building something.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. And I think that is exactly where we're going to go with this episode, right? So if you're still watching the episode, stay to the very end, smash the like button if you haven't already, for the YouTube algorithm, of course. Not even for us, but do it. If you're not going to do it for us, do it for YouTube. Okay. And, but no, I think, at the end of the day, that is where we take the episode, right? I think based on your goal and the season that you're in, we'll determine the habits necessary to achieve the goal based on the season.
Exactly.
Do you feel me?
Yeah.
So it's
absolutely.
like, if your goal is to make $1 million, right? It's like, hey, I want to make $1 million, and maybe right now you don't have any money in the bank at all, right? You're living with mom and dad. You're in the basement, right? You don't have any money, right? But you're like, dude, I just want to be a freaking millionaire, right? Okay, cool. Now, so the goal's defined, and the season that you're in as well, you don't have anything, right?
Exactly.
You have nothing to show for your name. It's basically back up against the wall, all or nothing, right? So that person's habits probably got to look a whole heck of a lot different than the guy that his goal is to just maintain the $1 million he's already made. Right? And he's already kind of got a name for himself. He's made $1 million, but he doesn't want to become a billionaire. He just wants to maintain the $1 million he's already made, right? His habits, his daily habits are going to look entirely different than the other guy.
Exactly.
And they're both, quote unquote, trying to achieve what they believe to think be success.
That's right.
Right?
Yep.
So I think that is really kind of the in a nutshell what we're going to be talking about here today.
100%.
So let's just, I guess, maybe share with the audience, man. Like, what are some? Maybe we can share with them some personal, stuff of like what seasons we've been in lately,
for sure.
And based on our goal, what action we've taken, right? Obviously, it's kind of a weird time in the world right now, depending on when you're watching the video, right? There's this thing going around, man, where they want you to wear a mask and they want you to do this and that, And, so without getting too far into it, for the most part, everybody's been kind of cooped up in their house.
For sure.
So what have you done
not doing a whole lot.
Not doing a whole lot of a whole lot,
For sure.
So March till August, what is it, September?
Yeah.
What have you personally done? Austin Lewis, we've actually, so I guess a little bit of background, right? I would say April for sure, but like May, June, July, August. Were some of the biggest months we've ever had in our life.
Absolutely.
Right?
Hands down.
In the middle of a pandemic.
Yep, hands down.
So, based on that, why is it that we were able to do that? I mean, what was it for you? I mean, what does your day look like right now? You know what I mean?
think, and something super cool too, before we even jump into it, Austin, I think a lot of people, and it goes back to like our network marketing days. We were always told, everything's 90 days out, right? If you put in the work today, you're going to see that work 90 days from now. You're not going to see it tomorrow.
Delayed gratification.
Right? And I think that's ultimately why that we massively succeeded. Like, let's take a look when, what do we get shut down? February 24th or late February?
Yeah, probably maybe even early March. Yeah.
Early March. Yeah. Look at that, right? Like December, we were grinding our fucking asses off, dude.
Yep.
December, January, February, and then boom, March happens.
Yep.
And all of a sudden we have murdered March.
Yep.
April, May, June, you know what I mean?
For sure.
And we've murdered all of the months stepping into Rona. Like, don't get us wrong. Like, we had a massive hit the month.
The
first 30 days. Yeah. The first 30 days.
Which everybody did, right?
Everybody, yeah. Because, we were dialing in systems and processes and different people in different ways. Okay, you can't do this. We got to go this way. So we had to get a little bit more creative. We had to slow down to speed back up. So I think that's just something that, why our habits prior to Rona, they evolved.
Yeah.
But more importantly, like they have infected in a good way on why we were able to catapult unlike any other business.
But we doubled down though.
Exactly.
So
and most people don't do that.
For sure. When I would say like when after Rona happened, like our habits were directly correlated with like our goal.
Exactly.
In the sense of like we knew like, we have our own office for those of you listening, watching, right? We have a private office that we have, right? And so, we didn't necessarily have, don't get me wrong, the people in our organizations that didn't want to work, we didn't make them work, right? But from a founder's standpoint, from a CEO standpoint, management, executive level, right? We kept working. We actually never did just stayed at home, right? We just kind of just,
showed up.
Yeah, ran right through the brick wall, so
had extra cleaners.
Yeah, and we went harder, longer, stronger than we've ever done, right? I woke up earlier.
Stayed later.
Yeah, for sure. I probably neglected my health, right? Like I'm in a season of my life. I'll just tell you right now, where I'm not in the most ideal physical shape, right?
For sure.
Physically speaking, the gyms have been shut down. The whole thing, it's been a pain in the butt to work out. Now I'm not making excuses, right? I could go freaking, I actually can't run, but I could go, there's a lot of things I could do, right?
For sure.
But at the same time, I chose not to, right? And I'm perfectly okay with that because in my brain, I knew this was an opportunity of a lifetime. If you follow me on my personal YouTube channel, there was a day where I edited 2 videos straight, all myself, right? While grinding in all the businesses on stimulus videos. And I had 2 months in a row back to back where I got 700,000 views on my personal YouTube channel, which for me at the time was incredible, right?
Yeah, still is.
So, and that was as a result of me just honestly, bro, I remember working all day long, leaving at 8 p.m. for my first meal, getting Chick-fil-A and then sitting in the conference room till 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning, editing a video and then waking up at 6 a.m. to do it all over again.
100%.
Right. And that is the season or was the season that I was in. Right. And it worked, man. My goal was, hey, I want to freaking dominate, like you said, right? March through, whatever, to the end of this kind of whole thing going on. And I was like, look, everybody else, they're going to chill. They're going to sit at home. They're going to do this, this, and this. And I'm going to go hard, plain and simple, right? And so, but now in order to do so though, right, Lewis, to your point a minute ago, there was a sacrifice that had to be made, right? So my habit became, okay, basically it was grind mode. I'm just I'm all in, you know what I mean? And so that was kind of my habit, right? I woke up in bright and early before the sun came up. I came directly to the office pretty much.
Understanding the consequences.
For sure.
And it was all right with that.
And I was fine with that, right? And I was fine with that. And I think a lot of people are trying to achieve this perfect setting where, they want to be spiritually on their A game, physically on their A game, mentally on their A game, financially on their A game. And you're most likely never going to achieve, they relationally want to be on their A game, right? Their relationships, their business partners, their girlfriend, boyfriend, husband, wife, whatever. They want all of these areas of their life, right? And it's like a pie. Look at a pie, right? And they want them all to be equally proportionate. And the reality of it is it's never going to be that way.
It's impossible.
Right? So again, depending on the season and the goal will depend on your habits that are necessary for that season that'll achieve, that can help you achieve the goal.
100%.
Right?
I honestly couldn't agree more.
So what was it for you?
God, dude, I can think of one particularly, just because I'm such a big advocate for me on it, but it works for me. I don't even know if it works for other people. I know a lot of other people have been trying it. And that's just I'm just such a big advocate of just writing shit down.
Journaling.
Dude. Yeah, dude. I go through those things no tomorrow. Just on this other trip, I had to buy another journal just because I'm dude, I just enjoy writing. I just like seeing shit on paper because I'm you and I don't know if we have ADHD, but I have already diagnosed myself with ADHD. For sure.
You don't even need a professional diagnostic.
No, yeah.
You know what I mean?
We just know. So
done deal.
We have an idea and in 7 seconds I forget about it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Or when I'm watching a YouTube video, I just watch the YouTube video when I could have written down 300 things.
Right, for sure.
And I
had 300 ideas, you forgot them all.
Yeah.
If you don't write it down.
All. And I think honestly, for me not doing that, it's fucking selfish. Because me not doing that hinders the team.
You're not contributing. You're not contributing to your culture, your team, your environment.
Exactly.
The way that you could.
Because I know we could step this up and just by writing things down that it is that I took away from something, because I know I'll forget it the next day when we do our Friday meeting. But now I know that, I can come into that with a little bit of deal and rock and roll. So that was one. The biggest thing that I struggle with, it was do my weight, man.
Yeah.
That's kind of been my biggest thing in this season of, from last year to this year, there was a time in my point when I was 202 pounds. And I've told you this story before. I saw it on the scale, dude, and I fucking derailed.
Yeah, you fell off the scale.
I fucking fell off the scale.
Yeah, for sure.
And it was that moment, right? A thought in motion continues in motion unless it's acted upon by night self force. I was like, dude, I want to get this dialed
Yeah,
in
for sure.
because I just felt unhealthy. I knew my performance. Again, I was being selfish because I wasn't doing what it is that I personally needed to do for my body, and therefore I wasn't performing at my highest level, which in turn was actually selfish to you, selfish to the business partner, selfish to our employees, because I'm not performing at the level that I need to be performing, or I know I can be, right?
Yep.
And so I think like that has been a massive thing for just me, like just trying to and I lost 20 some pounds, and then I got fucking big again, man.
Yeah.
Like right now I'm big, and so that's something I also am focusing on dialing in because of the, if I feel good, then for me I perform good.
For sure. For sure. And I think it's understanding that season, right?
Exactly.
There was probably, and maybe not directly in that particular, but most of the time, you look at the season leading up to the next season.
Yep, exactly.
And there was a purpose for the previous season. As much as you want to look back and be like, oh man, the last season was shitty.
Yep.
And this happened and that happened. Because we tend to look as human beings, I feel like we tend to look at the negative, right?
Yeah, exactly.
As opposed to the positive. I would imagine, and again, I'm not saying like everybody should go out and strive to like gain weight.
Oh yeah.
But there had to been something during that previous season that was a pro, like actually like something good came out of that.
Yep.
Aside from obviously the con being like you were heavier than you wanted to be,
for
right?
Sure. Yeah.
So I think it's understanding that self-awareness, right? And understanding like, hey, there's a purpose for every season.
Yep, exactly.
Because I'm like you, like listening to you talk about that, I'm like, man, like, yeah, like in theory, like I should go take better care of myself in this season.
For sure.
So I can better contribute.
Yeah.
But at the same time, like, I've contributed a whole hell of a lot.
Oh yeah.
But not taking care of myself
in
this season for me.
Yeah.
So it's like there's kind of two ways to look at it, right?
Yeah, there is.
And then it's just a matter of knowing when the end of that season is.
Exactly.
So that I can move on.
Yeah.
And understanding it is just a season, right? It isn't a thing that I don't want to do that forever, right?
Exactly.
And I know that.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I'm no idiot to that, right?
Yeah.
But I do know that there has been value. There's a lot, even just stupid shit, right? I know, nobody thinks much about like, the cords like back there. And for those of you guys watching, listening, check out our Instagrams. We post stuff all the time, but it's like, the bunch of cord management. Yeah. But it took me 8 hours.
Yeah, exactly.
All by myself.
Yep, exactly.
It would have never happened had I done it. It would still look the same way it did.
Yep, exactly.
And so it's just like dumb little things that, I'm just like, I just did it, dude. I'm like, whatever. No,
exactly.
Right.
And understanding the consequences.
For sure.
And again, I think, even through daily habits and things like that, for those of you that are listening, like we learn from every season that we've gone through. Like we really have learned, and we've taken away from something, and I think now we can kind of project.
Yep.
Like how you were just talking with me yesterday or whenever we were back on I think it was yesterday. You're like, I think I'm going to start eating healthy again.
Yeah, for sure.
Because we're just self-aware. You know what I mean? You're like, well, fuck, you might not jump right back into the gym or start going on walks or like, hiking mountains and shit, which is totally cool with you assuming you understand the consequences. But at least now you're like, hey, I kind of want to eat a little bit healthier.
Yep, for sure.
For you. For nobody other than just you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's the truth of the matter, yeah.
Now, I think going through these seasons, we're able to kind of take what we like and leave what we don't like and say, hey, I want to be better at this. I want to add this into my remedy. I want to add this into my daily habits. But having self-awareness, I think, is one of the biggest things for daily habits.
I do. I agree 100%. And I think for me, looking back, it's changed a million times.
Exactly.
My habits. I mean, I remember a year ago, it's like I woke up every day at 5 a.m.
Yep.
By 6 o'clock in the morning, I was at the gym. By 7 o'clock, I read a book. By 8 o'clock, I like, you know what I mean? And I was dialed in, and that worked very well for that season, right?
Exactly.
And I know that there might be another time where that exact season works again.
Exactly.
Right. Those exact habits, I guess I should say, work again for a new season of my life, right?
Yep.
And I think that's kind of the other part of it too. Is I think like it is kind of like learning how to ride a bike in a little bit of a way, right?
Exactly.
Where it's like, you can adopt like one habit at a time in different seasons.
Yeah.
And then, even if you're not practicing that habit in a particular season, there can be another season where you adopt the habit very quickly because you've already done it before, right?
Exactly.
Like I know how to wake up early.
Yep, exactly.
Right. Right now, honest and truly, I wake up at 6:37.
Yeah.
For me, that's like totally sleeping in,
yeah,
right?
Exactly.
Because other seasons I wake up at 4:35.
Oh, yeah.
Right. But I know how to wake up at 4:35.
Yeah.
So
Flip of a switch.
So exactly. So when I enter that next season, it isn't going to take me a month.
No. Yeah.
To fall back into that routine.
Yeah. Exactly.
Right.
It's easy.
There will be a day I just make a decision.
Yeah.
That night, like I'm waking up at 5 and I'm just going to continue to do that. Right.
Yep.
Like
exactly.
So I think it is just a matter of like trial and error.
Yep.
Figuring out what you like, what you don't like, you know, and what works for you, man. I've talked to people, bro, that literally they've spent 30, 40 years on planet Earth.
Yeah.
And they're like, dude, like I work out better at night.
Yeah, exactly.
Like I don't work out good in the morning.
Yep.
And they've spent 2 decades with trial and error.
Yep.
Figuring that out,
yep,
right?
Exactly.
And straight up, like they're like, dude, I could work out in the morning, but like honestly, like I'd rather work out at night.
Exactly.
Like they're just way better, you know?
It.
And I think it's just a matter of understanding your, kind of just the whole thing, man. Yep. And I think, I don't know. I just think people they set such a high standard of trying to figure it all out today.
Yeah.
Right. And somebody's watching this right now. I remember being in those shoes, watching guys like Grant Cardone, Andy Frisella, Ed Milet, right, Gary Vee, Tony Robbins, Jim Rohn, Bob Proctor, thinking to myself, man, I got to get it all figured out right now.
Yeah, every day looks the same because they're perfect.
Yeah, it's like, man, they're so, and you just like idolize these other people, thinking like, oh, they're so and it's just not true, bro.
No, it's not true at all.
Tony Robbins, dude, like I promise you, like he. And don't get me wrong, like he's got it probably more dialed in than anybody, but it isn't perfect.
No, yeah, it's not perfect.
It isn't perfect.
Yeah, every day doesn't exactly look the same.
It's not true.
There's something different every single day.
So yeah, there's things you can practice, and don't get me wrong, waking up early can be a good thing, and setting your alarm can be a great thing. Meditating can be a great thing, right?
Yep.
A lot of the listeners and viewers have probably seen or heard, and we've even tried it and done it, and I do it. I still do it sometimes, where it's like, hey, wake up, don't look at your phone, right?
Yep.
Instead, like put your phone across the room, set an alarm, whatever, wake up, like meditate, read a book, whatever, get your mind right before you look at your phone, right?
Yep.
There's all these different things that you can try.
Yep.
There's the thing of like, hey, like live by your calendar, right? Have your calendar tell you what to do, like pre-plan your days, don't wing it, right? Like you said, write shit down.
Write shit down, yeah.
When you're sitting there, you have a good idea, like write it down, right?
Yeah.
There's some people that say like leave a notepad next to your bed. So if you have a dream, or if you have like a dream in the middle of the night, like you wake up and write it down, right? Yep. There's all these different things, man.
Yep.
But it's like you're never going to do all of them at one time.
No, for sure. For sure.
And
at least we've never met them.
I've never figured out that.
We've met some pretty successful people, ladies and gentlemen.
I've never figured out how to do. I don't think I've ever. We've never met nobody.
No.
No. So
not at all.
So
not at all.
I just think that for me is, it kind of sums up like habits, man. Like just figure out what do you need to do in this season of your life.
Exactly.
And
what's your goal?
And
talk about your goal and realize what your goal is and figure out what your goal needs to be.
For sure, man.
And that's going to dictate when do you got to wake up at 5 o'clock? Do you got to eat clean? Do you got to edit your videos?
Yeah.
Do you got to, you know what I mean? Like, do you who do you have to be?
Yeah, for sure. In
is
that
the question,
season, based on the
question
goal.
You got to ask yourself.
For sure.
Because daily habits are daily habits, but different strokes for different folks.
Right.
And everybody does something a little bit different than the other person.
Yep.
But that's all relatively the same.
Yeah, man. I talk to people.
And I don't think it's, sorry to interrupt you.
No, you're good.
I don't think it's doing the big things different.
Yeah.
I think it's doing the little things different.
Yeah. Yeah, the big things are the big things, right?
Exactly.
I mean, bro, you know how many people we've interviewed right here on the ANA show? Like one guy's like, yeah, I read like physical books. And the next guy's like, no, I just listen to audio.
I just listen to audio. He's like, I can't read books.
I can't read books.
Yeah.
Just as successful as the other guy.
Yeah, these guys' lifestyles are they're very different, but very same.
For sure.
You know what I mean?
So for some, guru to come out and say, you have to read.
Yeah.
It's a freaking lie, man.
Yeah, it is.
It's a lie.
Sure.
Why? Why do I got to, why? Maybe I'm not a good reader.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I mean, don't get me wrong. Like but like at the same time, it's like, dude, like, no, maybe I want to listen to audio.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. That's how I consume knowledge better.
Exactly.
100%. And understanding that.
I actually couldn't agree more.
Right. So, and apply that to anything.
Yeah.
I really think like take that and apply it to any area of your life, again, physically, spiritually, emotionally, financially, bro. Like I straight up, dude, like I've watched church online for like a month.
Yeah.
There was a day and a time, bro, where like I went to church every weekend. Dude, I went to church 3 times a week.
Oh yeah.
I went there Thursday night to do like adult Bible study, and I was I was one of the leaders there, right? So I had to be there.
Yep.
There was a time when I went Saturdays to help like prep for Sunday.
Yep.
And then I went Sunday, and a lot of times on Sunday I would actually go to 2 services.
Yep.
I would sit through one.
Yeah.
And I would help
the
one.
other one.
And this season of my life, I'm watching it online once a week.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's just like, but if I beat myself up on that, and then it's like, dude, I'm gonna fall off the rail.
Yeah, exactly. You can't be so hard on yourself.
You just got to understand it. And I think it's the same, like, it's per your thing with the weight or whatever it is.
Yeah.
Same thing.
Yeah.
Same thing,
It's the same goal. You're getting the same thing.
Same thing, man.
You know what I mean? You're on the same path. You're on the trajectory to where it is that you want to be.
Right.
It's just a little bit different.
Because in this season of your life, I mean, I can tell you just from the outside looking in, you might not be happy with the way you look, but you're don't get me wrong, not that we have we're not where we want to be,
for sure.
But you're damn happy about the way your bank account looks.
Oh yeah, for sure. Oh yeah, absolutely.
You feel me?
Absolutely.
So it's like,
absolutely.
It's not a lose-lose.
No. It's not a lose-lose.
You know what I mean?
And that's why we talked about it. It's learning.
It's a win-lose.
Yeah, exactly. Take what you like and leave what you don't.
And would
like.
we have been able to do what we were able to do financially? Had we looked perfect physically?
Exactly.
Had we been to the gym every day? Taking our protein right on time?
No.
Would we be able to do what we were able to do?
Nope, not absolutely.
We wouldn't have.
No.
We wouldn't have.
Not in a million years.
Yeah,
exactly.
So I just think, I don't know, matter of understanding that.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? And being okay with it.
Yeah.
And being okay with change and evolution.
Adapting to it.
You know what
I mean? And not so much reacting, but being the offense side.
Proactive almost.
Like, being on the offense side of things.
For sure.
And not on the defense.
I totally agree.
Don't react to that text message, but you text that person. Get it out of the way.
Embrace it, dude.
Yes.
Like embrace the journey.
Exactly.
Embrace the journey. Nothing's permanent.
Exactly.
In this world, from what I've been able to figure out. Right.
Sure.
You could be a billionaire, dude. It could get stripped away tomorrow.
Yep.
Right. You could have anything you want. Like there's nothing permanent, really.
No.
The only thing that like really, from what I've been able to figure out so far, that is guaranteed is like everybody's gonna be born and everybody's gonna die.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
Confirmed.
Exactly.
Yeah. But like other than that, bro,
there's nothing else.
There's nothing else, man. Like, it's everything's temporary.
You are your own destiny.
It's all temporary, bro. I've seen people that are 500 pounds get a six pack.
Oh yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
They spent 20 years on the couch.
Yeah, on the couch. Yeah.
So it's just like, dude, like everything's temporary. If you allow it to be.
Yeah.
If you allow yourself to adapt, change, evolve, right? You said, right? Like be proactive.
Yeah.
Rather than reactive. Then I think you could have a new season every 6 months, every year.
For sure.
Every whatever, maybe every 90 days.
Yeah.
Different season.
Yeah. Exactly.
Some seasons might last longer.
Yeah. Right.
You might go through a season that's 3, 4, 5 years.
Yeah.
But I don't think
people do. And people do.
Yeah, people for sure do. There's probably
I think we went through it.
Yeah, for sure.
For 2 years.
Yeah, a couple years.
A solid year for sure. We went through one.
Where we just kind of did the same thing.
In
a nutshell.
Yeah. You know what I mean?
agree with that.
It was relatively similar.
See, now it's like, dude, we're doing something new every day of our life.
Every day.
It's crazy.
Every day.
Crazy.
Yeah. It's actually nuts.
Our seasons change quick now.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
It's like in 30 days, I'll be freaking, Oh, it's totally condensed.
Yeah.
I just think it's all the journey, man. It's levels, and understanding, where you're at in your journey, right? Yep. If you're watching, listening, where are you in your journey and being self-aware of that, right?
Absolutely.
And embracing that, and we get it, man. Like do you know how many times we were told, bro, like just enjoy the process. And we're like, yeah, easy for you to say.
Yeah, you got a million.
Freaking whatever, and it's like
you're driving a Ferrari on some yachts and shit, dude.
But it's like
you're traveling the world.
But now here we are, bro, and it's like I mean, I don't know, like you could wire $5 million into my account right now. It wouldn't really change anything.
No,
I'm not saying we're there, bro.
No,
I'm not even
for sure.
close.
Yeah,
not even close.
Yeah,
but I am saying, man, like it is a journey.
Yeah,
and just enjoy it.
Yeah.
Do your best.
Yep.
Wake up every day, right? Mm-hmm. Try out new things. Move the needle. If a particular habit is working for you, keep doing it.
Exactly.
Keep freaking doing it.
Yeah.
Till it don't work no more.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If it ain't working, stop doing it.
Yeah, stop doing it.
And try something new.
Yeah.
Like
figure it out.
You feel me?
Yeah. Move on, dude.
It's just like, man, like learn how to do that.
Yeah, exactly.
I think,
Yeah.
In a nutshell.
Self-awareness.
Yeah.
Spend that time on you, what it is that's working on you. Oh shit, this might not be, and I think some self-reflecting it can kind of get you there.
Journaling.
Yeah, journaling.
Yeah.
And
writing it down.
Or just looking in the fucking mirror.
For sure.
I mean, that's as good as journaling, I think. Are you good?
I really like the idea of journaling though, because you get to look back and see what you were thinking in that moment.
At that time.
Yeah,
for
sure. And it really gives you perspective.
For sure.
Because sometimes you forget. Like I remember driving a Lambo, but I don't remember my
thoughts and feelings
frame of mind at that time.
Yeah, for sure.
I really don't. I'm like, I kind of remember.
Yeah.
But not really.
Not really, yeah.
Yeah. And so it's just like, man, I wish I kind of, like I think for me, I'm going to start journaling more.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's huge.
Yeah.
It's huge.
Writing stuff down. I think you could almost do that in every season of your life.
Every season.
If there was one habit.
That's one habit that you can keep.
That you should keep.
Yeah.
It's just like journal.
Sure.
Keep a journal.
For sure.
Keep a journal your whole life.
Yep, exactly.
Every day, every night, or in the morning, whenever works best for you. Whenever works for you. Maybe it's in the middle of the day.
Yeah, exactly. Maybe it's all over.
But at some point, try to write in a journal.
Yep, something.
Jot down what you're thinking, what you're feeling, your emotional state.
Yep.
Look up a YouTube video on like how to keep a journal.
Yep.
And find somebody you resonate with and just do that.
Do that. 100%.
Gives you something to look back at.
Exactly.
And say, hey,
for
man,
reflecting.
Yeah, exactly.
It's good for the inner peace. Mm-hmm. It's good for some dopamine.
For sure.
You know what I mean? It's good for some fulfillment.
Yeah.
It's good.
And it also probably tell you if you haven't moved in a year.
Exactly. You know, and that'd scare the shit piss out of you.
Yeah.
And so
if you look back at your journal and you're like, God dang, I was doing the same thing last year. I'm doing right now.
Exactly.
Shit.
You know, exactly. And
you feel me?
Yeah, exactly. And I think a lot of people write down some of the things they probably don't want to write down.
Right.
And that's, you know, assets and liabilities.
Yeah, for sure. Get uncomfortable when you write it down.
Get uncomfortable.
Write down your net worth every day.
Exactly.
Every day.
Every day.
Put your net worth on the top of the paper.
Yeah.
Even if it's 2 figures, 3 figures.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
If you got $50 versus $400, it don't matter.
Write down your net worth. Yeah. And even when it looks like a phone number, keep writing it down.
Keep writing it down because, you know, where attention goes, energy flows.
For sure. I couldn't agree with that more.
If you focus on that, you know, then it's a large thing that you can actually do.
Abundance mindset,
and it was actually so funny you said that because I screened with one of our lenders. Actually, I was just texting her here earlier. I sent her a picture, bro,
of our bank accounts back a few months ago. Yeah, big difference.
Oh my God.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm almost embarrassed that I sent that.
Yeah, for sure.
But I was super drunk.
Yeah, and you were probably fired up at the time.
I was jacked up.
Jacked out of his mind.
Oh yeah, I had the biggest ego since
different perspective, man. Yeah. Different season.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, things become normal, man.
Yeah.
Things become normal. That's why I'm saying, like, you got to enjoy the journey, bro.
Yeah, exactly.
You got to enjoy the journey. You know what I mean?
I love it, dude.
So I love it, man. I love it. I hope you guys got something out of this episode. You know, if you have any questions at all, you know, go if you're listening on podcast, iTunes, Stitcher, Apple, you know, iHeartRadio, whatever. Definitely go check us out on YouTube where you can actually see us visually. Okay.
Yeah.
You know, Austin's better looking than I am, so definitely look at him more than me. And but you know, drop us a comment there and let us know, you know, what your thought is. You know, what do you think? What season of life are you in? Right?
Yeah.
We would love to know. We really would. You know, give us a comment of where you're at, what season you're in, what your goal is. You know, and maybe we can help. You know, maybe we make another show.
Yeah.
Depending on how many people comment on the video or something. You know, elaborating on different areas.
Yep. 100%.
Right. Obviously, if you haven't already, make sure you subscribe. You like the video. You leave us a review.
Please do.
And ladies and gentlemen,
that's it.
That is for today. Yeah. The A&A show. Okay.
That's right.
Happy. I think this is going to go out on Friday, so happy Friday
or Monday.
Okay, potentially Monday, but
depending
happy Friday. Have a phenomenal weekend.
Yes.
Okay, and we look forward to seeing you guys in the next one.
That's right. See you guys.